Okay guys, it's September 12th, and I have a hypothetical, it's a hypothetical situation here, purely hypothetical, purely for entertainment purposes only. So we need to prepare for Joe Biden's death this winter, because it is going to happen. It is coming. He is going to die this winter. Do you think if someone made a statement like that they wouldn't be having FBI or CIA knocking at their door if they made a statement like that? Wouldn't the question be, well, how do you know? Like, what do you know about Joe Biden's death, imminent death? Tell us what you know about it to make that statement. So when you have people like Gates or the new Fauci's or whoever of some sort of authority that's just thrown on them, they have this authority to make these statements that we're going to have a pandemic this winter. It is coming. Wouldn't the first thing people should be doing is knocking on their door and asking them, sitting them down and asking them serious questions like, how would you know that? Why would you make that statement? What is it about this situation or scenario that you are so sure that's going to happen? What do you know that we don't know? Who do you know is involved with this kind of, telling of the future? I think questions like that need to be asked a little bit more. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they are being asked behind the scenes, but I haven't seen it. So I'm just wondering, when people make such outrageous statements of how they're so sure of what's coming, it's just like if I had a pot with dirt in it and I told you this is going to sprout a certain plant, and I was specific about whatever's going to happen, this specific plant is going to come from this pot. Don't you think that I probably had a hand in sowing that seed and nurturing that along in order to predict what kind of plant was going to be popping up from that pot in a matter of weeks or months? I don't know. I think some questions need to be asked, and some serious... I don't know. I mean, are we just ignoring everything we're hearing? Do we just let it go and slide over our heads? Or does anyone know if anyone's seating these people down, like Gates, who's so sure of what's coming and what's going to happen to us? It's just a matter of putting, just sowing the seeds of fear and setting it in people's head what's going to happen. And it makes people, it's just propaganda. It makes people feel helpless. And I mean, I'm pretty sure something's going to be happening, and they know what they're going to be doing. And it's probably not going to be good. It's not going to be some pandemic, though. It'll be more like a poison. There'll be poisoning, because you've got Gates with this little macabre butt buddy doing all the satellite stuff with Elon Musk, doing all these satellite things that could be radiating people. So, you start microwaving the populace and society and humans, eventually they are going to get sick. So, and why are we allowing that to happen? It's just so disgusting, the crazy that we allow to happen without sitting these people down and not letting them get out of answering these questions. I don't know, maybe I'm off my rocker. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's just also like, if you take the scenario of the mutilation of the children, if I walked into a doctor's office and I said, hey, I identify with, as being an amputee. I need you to cut off my arms or legs. And if that doctor did that, what kind of position do you think that doctor would be in? Do you think he'd be in trouble? Do you think he'd have to be asking questions? Do you even think the doctor would do something that crazy? Do you think that doctor would have more of an obligation to find some mental help for that person? Or is the doctor allowed to just cut off someone's arms or legs because they identify as an amputee? I mean, at least the amputee will be able to reproduce, which that's what life is, basically. But how come no one sees what they're willing to do to these children because I identify as something? These underage children who haven't even reached full maturity, how come they're being allowed to make these very strange decisions without getting some kind of mental counseling? How come it's looked at as and protected? Just switch around some scenarios once in a while, and when you hear something that sounds so ridiculous and crazy, put it in another scenario. Like, let's just make a statement that the president's going to be dead by this winter. It's a for sure thing. You would think that person making that kind of statement would be sat down and talked to and interviewed. They should be doing that to the people who are saying that there's going to be a pandemic. They should be sitting down with these doctors and also saying, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing when someone comes and identifies as something, and that would mean that you'd have to mutilate them? What are you doing? Okay, anyhow, I'm just disgusted by the clown world, and I'm happy, though, to see that people are rising up. I hear them speaking out. I hear more passion in people. It's really nice. And on the other hand, though, there's still people who are dead to the world, but at least I'm starting to see more common sense coming in. All right, just a kind of wacko thought for the day. The first part's completely hypothetical, remember, so cool your jets. Okay, take care, guys.